The magic, mythology and folklore of the hawthorn. The hawthorn and its red berries, known as haws, take their name from an old Saxon term for hedge, while its Latin name of cratagus derives from the Greek words for strength, kratos, because the wood is hard and resistant to rot, and for sharp, achis, referring of course to its very sharp thorns. The berries are edible, and throughout Eurasia they are used to make jams, sauces and homemade wines. The South Korean alcoholic beverage, sansuchun, is made from haws. Old Cantonese-style sweet and sour sauces make use of them for their combination of the sweet and sour tastes, and in Mexico the berries are used to flavour Christmas punches. Even the leaves and flower buds are edible, although they are best eaten early in the spring when they're still at their most tender, when they're popular leaves for salads. Hawthorn has long been used in traditional medicine for ailments of the cardiovascular and the digestive systems, and to strengthen these systems. A 2010 review did conclude that hawthorn preparations held significant potential as a useful remedy in the treatment of cardiovascular disease. In the language of flowers, hawthorn represents hope. In magic, the hawthorn is ruled by Mars and the element of fire. Hawthorn is also associated with the heart and its chakra. Hawthorn is often used in spells and workings for love, inspiration, healing, fertility, personal growth, grief, emotional balance, healing broken hearts, protection and divination. One odd superstition says that if you cut the first blossoms of the year from the hawthorn and then place them under your pillow as you sleep, that you will dream of your future husband. It was also used for beauty rituals. One old poem tells us, "The fair maiden who on the first day of May goes to the fields at the break of the day and washes in dew from the hawthorn tree, will ever after handsome be." The hawthorn is closely associated with the Celtic Festival of Beltane and with the month of May. One of its bynames is the May tree because it's in May that it flowers. It's forever bound to the old May Day Rites and so is linked with love, marriage and fertility. Some maypoles of old were literally made from the May tree. May queens in some places still wear garlands of mayflowers in their hair. The hawthorn or whitethorn could be seen as a queen who rules over the lighter half of the year, like the oak king, while the blackthorn is the queen who rules over the darker half of the year, like the holly king. Hawthorn is the most fairy of all trees. According to Irish and Scottish folklore, every single hawthorn, no matter where it grows, is rumoured to be a door to fairyland. In Ireland, the hawthorn was so closely linked with the fairies that people often referred to it by various euphemisms, in the same way euphemisms were used for fairies. Examples include the gentle bush or bush of the little people. The hawthorn is sacred to many fairy queens and goddesses. Thomas the Rhymer kissed the fairy queen beneath the hawthorn tree and was taken to fairyland. The Roman goddess of hawthorn, Cardia, guarded over marriage, childbirth and all doorways, including fairy portals. Blodeuwedd, a Welsh flower goddess whose name means flower face, was made by magic from 9 sacred plants, including oak, ash and hawthorn, which are the fairy triad of trees. Olwen, a Celtic giantess and daughter of the hawthorn giant, is another hawthorn goddess. Her name means white track, and trefoils or hawthorn flowers bloomed wherever she walked. In Norse lore, the hawthorn was also associated with giants who represented the primal forces of nature, and became one of the runes known as Thorn or Thurisaz. In ancient Greece, the flowers were used in marriage ceremonies and to adorn the altars of Hymen, the goddess of love, marriage and song. Hawthorns are often found as healing rag trees or clutie trees, which are decorated trees found by and protecting old holy wells. People would dip the cloth in water, touch it to the part of their body that was ailing them, and then tie the cloth to the tree. The idea was that as the cloth disintegrated over time, the ailment would vanish. And this is why it's so very important to use biodegradable materials for clouties. It's very bad luck to cut or fell a hawthorn, other than at Beltane. It angers the fairies and brings you a whole heap of bad luck. When the American businessman John DeLorean, founder of the DeLorean Car Company, wanted to build his factory in Northern Ireland, the builders refused to fell a hawthorn which was in the way. Urban legend says that DeLorean himself destroyed it and afterwards was cursed with money and personal problems, and there are countless other tales, both ancient and modern, of those who've had nothing but bad luck after damaging a hawthorn. The hawthorn is a tree of protection, protecting you from bad fairies, evil witches, thunder and lightning, and in the Balkans it's even said to protect you from vampires, so the wood there was used to make stakes for vampire slaying. In Cornwall, hawthorn trees were associated with treasure. There was a belief that people planted hawthorns over hoards of gold, or that fairy gold lay beneath the trees. In the UK, there is one hawthorn in particular that's very famous, and it's held sacred by pagans and Christians alike: the Glastonbury thorn. The legend, which dates back to at least 1520, goes that Joseph of Arimathea, the uncle of Jesus, visited Glastonbury many years ago and thrust his staff into Weary Hill, where it promptly grew into the original thorn tree. The original was sadly destroyed by a Puritan soldier who was promptly blinded by a splinter from the tree. One of its descendants thrived on Weary Hill for many years, until that was raked in 2010. Thankfully, other descendants of the original Glastonbury thorn can still be seen today in and around Glastonbury, such as in the churchyard of St John's Church. What makes this tree very special and unique is that it flowers not once but twice a year, once in May and once at Christmas, and every year a blooming sprig is sent to the British monarch to be placed on her breakfast tray. Many years ago, Royal Mail created a beautiful stamp honouring the story of the Glastonbury thorn. It was apparently one of their most popular stamps ever. Hawthorn offers us protection and healing, especially for matters of the heart. It comes as no surprise that it's one of the rose family. It's a tough tree, able to grow in all sorts of places and withstands all the weathers that Mother Nature throws at it. Yet it also has the most sublime and beautiful flowers that inspire creativity, love and the celebration of life. It's a tree of magic, mystery and emotion that is beloved by many for a whole host of reasons. What will you learn from the hawthorn? Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.